Okay, now, the next section or two is about multiplying, dividing decimals. And I talked about this with some of you already, but the only difference with multiplying decimals is that you're going to have to account for every single decimal in the multiplication. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I'm going to do 1.245 times 19. You don't really have to line up the decimal point. Let's just go through it, and I'll say, okay, 5 times 9 is 45, carry the 4. 4 times 9 is 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Carry the 4 again. 2 times 9 is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 9 times 1 is 9, and then 10, 11. Placeholder for the 0, and now look at the 1. 1 times 5 is 5, and then 4, 2, 1. Why do I have to put a placeholder there? Because whenever I multiply, like, you have different sort of like levels of the digits, I suppose. You have to ignore this first, this tens digit, and then look at the 2, the ones digit. So you're going to have three digits there, and then you have to ignore it. So it's like you're moving to the tens. So think of it like ones, tens, hundreds. If you're doing the tens multiplication, you would have to write a 0 for the ones. I don't know, it's just the sort of the, yeah, it's the rule. So now I'll add 6. 1 plus 2 is 3, 2. All right. Move the decimal to the left as many places as there are decimals. Woo. I have no idea if that's a good way to put it, but like there's 3 decimals, the 2, the 4, and the 5. So I now have to take that decimal point and move it left. 1, 2, 3. So I get 23.655. And then check in the calculator to see if everything went okay. Yeah. Did all right. So now why did I put part B there? Well, if you multiply or divide by a factor of 10, all we have to do is just move the decimal point. Quick way to look at it. When multiplying, dividing by a factor of 10. Probably best with an example, right? 90.48294 times 1,000. Well, how many zeros are in the 1,000? 3. It's going to make the number bigger, so we want to move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so number gets bigger, right? Because it's times a big number. Well, how many times would I move it in part C there? 2 times. So 9,048.294. Now, let's go the other way. I'm dividing. Because I'm dividing by a number, you're making the number smaller. But here's the trick. See how I made it 1,000? I'm going to move 3 times. Now you have to account for a placeholder. 1, 2, 3. Blank space there. Add a 0. So this thing will be 0.0904824.
That's only when dividing, right? You move to the...
No, it can happen both ways. Because if you're multiplying by a really big number, you might end up adding zeros to the right. So say, for example, 90.4 times 10,000. Right? You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I have to add 3 zeros as placeholders. Right? So you can go both ways. Really big number, really small number. Whew. Questions on this slide? Want me to move back up, down, anything? All right. Julie is a real estate broker who charges a fee of 0.07 times the price of the house. That's the same thing as saying 7%, but that comes in a later chapter. If she sells a home for $354,000, how much is her fee? Keyword. So add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Multiply. .07 times $354,000. $24780. $24,780. Man, the real estate business is nice. I don't know if anybody knows any people in real estate. I don't think it's 7%. I think it's, I don't know. You know? 4? Okay. 4% or 3% is still probably a pretty good deal. It's like $10,000 to $15,000. I have a cousin in real estate. Her name is Julie. She makes more money than I do. So multiply. Michael bought 824 bricks to build a barbecue pit, paying a total of $269.78. How much did Michael pay per brick? All right, think about it on your own for about a minute. Okay. Keyword. Awesome. Per is the keyword, and that should say to you what? Divide. Okay, so this is one of those per brick. If you set it up like a fraction, you want price brick, so I know that which goes on top. Yeah, 269.78, 824 bricks. Ooh, 42. And did anybody do it? Point 327. What? 4029. All right. I'm going to add one more thing here. Round to the nearest cent. Cent is the same as the hundreds place, or hundredth. So make it 33. Yeah. Some of you were like going through the problems and the homeworks, I think, and you discovered that you can't put 0.33000. It'll mark it wrong. You have to put 33 and cut it off. Similar one that I encourage you to take a look at. Estimate the costs. Let's say you go to the grocery store, or you're going to 7-Eleven or something like that. And it says, estimate the cost by first rounding to the nearest dollar, then adding. So you have $3.49, bag of Doritos, my favorite. $2.49 is a 20-ounce Coke. $1.49 is, I don't know, coffee. A lot of caffeine for me today. What would the answer be? Sure. Estimate the cost first rounding to the nearest dollar, then adding. All right, I heard a couple. Who wants to volunteer and answer? What'd you say? 750. Got to round it to the nearest dollar. So even though you're right there, the computer will mark that wrong. So you have to put $6. Because you have to round it first. So this has to round to $3. This has to round to $2. And this has to round to $1. Right? Good point. You would only round up if it was $3.50. That you would round up to $4. Right? But this makes like 0 sense in the real world. Because if you were actually at 7, you'd need more money than that. Right? Because it's me, $3 and $2, and then I'm covered. You know, but that's not what the computer wants. They want you to round it to $6. So be very careful with that. One, two, almost there. In order to write a fraction as a decimal, we need to perform the division. No idea what I was talking about when I first made this, when I wrote that. Oh, yeah, yeah. Look at you. Divide the numerator into the denominator. Or denominator into the numerator. Yeah. You're totally right. So perform the division. 13 divided by 4. I like this class. It's good. 12, 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. Now, instead of doing the remainder thing from the other chapter, we will line up the decimal point and add zeros. So instead of the remainder being 1, now we're going to say how many times does 4 go into 10? 2 times. Let's do 4 times 2 is 8. I get another number left over, so let's add another 0. Bring that all the way down. And now how many times does 4 go into 20? 5 with 0 left over. That's how I know I'm done. So 3.25. There you go. In order to change a decimal to a fraction, add zeros as there are decimals. So example 0.4, 0.42, 0.425. There's only one decimal point, and it's in the 10th, so that's why the placeholders come in handy. The 10th, put it over 10. Right? 0.42 is to the 100th, put it over 100. 0.425 is to the 1,000th, put it over 1,000. And then you'd have to reduce from there. So 0.84 would be 84 over 100. And then follow your rules. I don't know, does 4 go into 84? Yeah. So that's 21 over 25. Does 7 and 3, 7 times 3? No. So that's it. Okay? Questions? Ooh, all right. Now these are different because there's a whole number. 7.205. Two different ways to look at it. The first one is to just follow the same rule. How many decimals are there in 7.205? 3. So put it over 1,000. So it's going to be 7205 over 1,000. And now you have to reduce that. So 7205 divided by 5. And then you have to do that division. Ooh. So it goes into 5 times. Let's see. 1 minus 0 is 1. 14 minus 5 is 9. 191. Okay. We're doing fraction, right? So we need remainder. So this is 5 and 191 over 250. The other way I just want to mention is that, like, if you ignore the whole number. Wait, I did something wrong maybe. 7205 over 123,000. Makes sense. 7205 divided by 1. 7205 divided by 5. Oh, you know what I did, people? 1,000 divided by 5. Sorry. It's not 250. It's 200. So I'll do it again real quick. Sorry. Let's see. Remainder 41. All right, so it should be 41 over 200. It should be the same thing, right? It's because what I was going to say is ignore the whole number and just do 205 over 1,000. Totally messing this up now, but ignore the whole number for the second and just write 205 over 1,000, which will reduce to 41 over 200, and then add that 7 back. I do it the second way. That's just why I had trouble with the first. change 3 2/5 to a decimal. We go over this before? All right. Multiply the whole number by the denominator.
Say 17/5.
Then add the numerator. So it turns into, 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2. So 17/5. Okay? Now, perform that division. Which is 3.4. Skip over that one for now. Any last questions or comments? How did you do it? Oh, yeah, very good. Definitely. Probably easier than my way. Yeah. Ignore the whole number and just do 2 divided by 5. Which would be 0.4, and then put the 3 back in. Yep. Thank you.